Welcome back to Laughing in the Dark, the podcast where I hang out in haunted places with comedians. I'm your host, Sara Jones. This is the last Minisode for Season 1. If you're just tuning in for the first time, our Minisodes are a chance for you to tell me your ghost stories. We're wrapping up our Minisode series this season with Will from Memphis, Tennessee. Will tells me a variety of spooky experiences he's had, including a cult of creepy cats, hands beneath his hotel sheets, visits from deceased loved ones, and many more. I love this caller. Here's the call.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sara Jones from Laughing in the Dark. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, nice. Who am I speaking with?
I'm speaking with Will.
Will?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Will. Do you want to tell listeners something about yourself, just to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and been here all my life. And I don't know, I like spooky stories. That was just happened to be a coincidence. I ran across it. So I've never had to tell anybody one before, so I thought it would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I like spooky stories too, obviously. So walk me through, do you have just one ghost story, or how many ghost stories do you have?
I actually have a couple, but some of them I've tried to suppress out of my memory.
Okay,
from being a kid, but I'll tell you about the most recent when it happened. Actually, it's ironic it's happening right now.
Wow.
A couple of months ago, well, not a ghost story, but the circumstances. Like a couple of months ago, it was a bad thunderstorm in my area, and my power was knocked out for like 2 days. So I was like, well, let me just go get a motel room until my power goes back on. So I looked for the cheapest one in my area. And I found a place that was charging like $35 a night. I was like, I'll take it. But I knew it had to be a catch to this. So I pull up to this motel, and it was very loose women out there everywhere, all over the place. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to bother them. I'm just going to get my room and go to bed. So I got the room, and I get in there, and it was a decent room, I must admit. So I fall asleep. I fell asleep on my stomach, and I'd say around 3 o'clock in the morning, it was like the room was kind of warm, but then it got cold out of nowhere, and I didn't have on anything, no air conditioning in the room. And I felt like somebody was massaging my back. So I abruptly woke up. Like, I looked around. I was like, did somebody come in this room? And I didn't see anything, so I lay back down again. Then I felt hands again. They were soft hands, I must admit. So it was like, I was like, oh, well, I'm probably just dreaming. I'm just going to go back to sleep. And it continued on for maybe about 20 minutes, but the hands kept getting lower and lower. And then I noticed when the hands got to where my jeans were, it felt like they were trying to reach into my pockets or something. And that's when I woke up for real. I was like, okay. Because I really thought somebody was in the room. And then I thought to myself, I looked at the window, and there was plenty of those women walking around. And I was like, there was a ghost of one of them. It had to be.
I mean, like, was it awesome or was it horrible? Like, I can't decide.
It was good and bad because she wouldn't leave me alone. Like,
right, okay.
So
you were kind of freaked out.
Point,
you were kind of freaked out, but you were like maybe a little into it too?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, what is she going to do with my wallet? Give it to her ghost pimp? Like, what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah, she can't steal your money.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't giving up, so obviously she ended up that way.
I didn't realize she was going for your wallet. I thought, never mind.
Yeah, that's what that was my thing. I felt like she was trying to rob me.
Oh.
Because it felt good until she got to my pocket. You ever feel anybody's hands go in your pocket? Like, that's the first time I felt that. I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, then eventually, this happened literally all night until the sun, on and off until the sun came up around 7. And then my neighbor called me and told me my lights were cut back on. So I just hightailed it up out of there. Even though I had like 4 more hours left in the room, I was like, nope.
Wow.
I'm gone. And I've never been back since. And next time my power goes off, like if it goes off right now, I'm just going to buckle down and go to my parents' house. That's what I get for not wanting to go to my parents' house.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I've never heard a story about a ghost robbing someone, though. You know what I mean? Like, I thought she was just trying to get, like, frisky with you.
Oh, no. I mean, I maybe thought it started out that way, then it took a left turn. But that's what I get. I'm trying to let a ghost violate me, because I've heard plenty of those stories. So I was thinking to myself, maybe this might be good. She gave a great back massage. That's all I can make.
Okay, hey, I mean, you got to take what you can get, right?
Yeah, because I did sleep good through it. I just ignored it after a while.
Right.
I was like, yep. But I was like, I am not turning over. I'm staying on my stomach the rest of the night.
Well, I mean, good for you, I guess.
Yeah, it was one of those nights. But I mean, I've had many spooky stuff. Like I think my backyard is haunted. But There's a whole nother stuff.
So why do you think your backyard is haunted?
It's a woman next to me that has a lot of cats. Mm-hmm. And I mean like a whole lot of cats. Like I stopped counting after like 8.
Oh my God. That's awful.
And one day me and a friend of mine decided we was gonna go back in the backyard and like have a couple of beers, you know, just sit on the patio. And it was nighttime, but not too late. It was like 8 or 9. So we go outside, and all of her cats were in my backyard, like all of them.
Yeah.
Like they was having a secret cat meeting. It was like, it reminded me of something I've seen in that movie. What was that movie where they had them secret cameras set up, and they was recording everything. They made a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying they're whack. I can't remember it because I haven't seen it on TV but they make it look like it's real.
Yeah.
I just remember one of those movies. The guy he lived in the backyard and there was a bunch of witches in a circle.
Yeah.
He took off running and they came out. You know what movie I'm talking about?
I don't know the movie you're talking about, but I can visualize it.
Yeah. This movie actually made it to the movie theater several times. They either made 3 or 4 of them in the last couple of years. I could not think of that movie for nothing. But yeah, anyway, go in the backyard. I didn't notice it. My friends noticed it. He was like, are those cats over there? Because like they're all black cats, by the way. So that's even worse. Not like they're cute, light-colored cats.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about between 8 to 10 black cats gathered in my backyard. And then when they looked at me and my friend, it looked like their eyes lit up because it was dark. And I guess they got those kind of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that. Me and my friend hightailed it back into the house. And I don't even think I've just been back in my backyard at night since then. That happened a year ago. I go out in my backyard in the daytime to cut it.
Yeah.
I'll cut the grass back there, but I do not go out there at night anymore because I was like, how come these cats are in my yard and not in the owner's yard? Because the woman that stays next door to me has a bigger yard than mine, but for some reason, they love to gather in my yard. I was like, those cats are plotting on me. So I'm going to do something about that.
You got kind of like a sinister feeling from them.
Yeah, I'm like, why y'all hang? Because they don't pay me any attention. It's like when I come home from work, they'll be next door, like sitting on the woman's porch and all through her yard, just roaming around. But they don't come in my yard in the daytime. For some reason, I think they choose the night. Yeah, I'm like, why are they over there? So like those cats were probably possessed too. I was thinking those are ghost cats. Like those, they probably have like human spirits inside of them. I think deep like that. Like.
Honestly,
it's bigger than what it is.
Obviously, I'm a ghost person since this is my show. But what you might not know about me is I'm also a cat person. So that sounds amazing to me. If I had ghost cats in my backyard, I would be thrilled.
Yeah, because I'm like, man. Like I said, in the daytime, this is the thing. They don't even appear till night. Like if I come home late at night, they're outside. But Daytime, they're basically invisible.
Do you think they're like witches?
I don't know what that woman next door to me does. I just know I don't see her that often, and and I'm like, she doesn't have any relatives. She stays by herself, and I don't see why a person needs that many cats.
Okay, even though I'm a cat person, I do have to agree with you on that. That is plenty of cats.
Yeah, when you got double-digit cats, I think you're up to something.
No, that's right. Yeah, I don't, or at least something is, maybe there's some screws a little loose.
Yeah, because woman doesn't have any kids, and I know she's almost 70. I spoke to her once, but she has I'm not against golf people, but I've never seen a golf person that old. But she just has this vibe about her, and she'll just get in her car and just leave for days at a time.
Oh no!
And come back. I'm like, well, who's taking care of the cat?
Right, exactly. No, I'll tell you this though: if she has double-digit cats, in general, who's taking care of the goddamn cats? Like, one person cannot take care of that many cats. It's sad. It's like I've seen, like, in hoarders, how they have all these poor cats that, like, they live in really bad conditions. It's a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These cats look healthy, though. I'll give her credit for that.
Wow,
I'm
that's
amazing. And they keep multiplying, because I've been in my house for 4 years. When I first moved in here, she only had, like, 2.
Oh,
I'm like, 2 was reasonable.
Right.
And I guess they just keep breeding and breeding.
Well, but if they're maybe she just buys a whole lot of blue buffalo. I don't know. All right. Well, so okay, what's your other ghost story that you had?
Oh, it was like a weird one. Like after my grandmother passed, like in 2003.
Okay.
And for some reason, every year on her birthday, and this is the point, I didn't even know when my grandma's birthday was until I told my mom. I was like I saw a pattern forming. And I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, what day is May 27th? And she was like, why? Because, like, May 27th is 5 days before my birthday. And I just noticed, like, 2 or 3 years in a row, I would always have a weird dream about my grandmother. And, like, it wasn't like she was trying to kill me or nothing like that. But she would just come around. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd have a dream, and she's never been to my house because I didn't have this house then. But she would just be in the house in the front, sitting on the couch or something, acting like everything. And it happened literally 3 years in a row before I said something. My mother was like, that's your grandma's birthday. You didn't know that? I was like, well, no, y'all never made me give her a present or nothing. Like, I don't know. I wasn't aware. And I thought that's a weird occurrence. And the last time it happened, it hasn't happened in 2 years, but it happened 2 years ago, though. And that spooked the mess out of me.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, yeah, in a good way. But this is the weird part. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
She just looks at me, so that makes it extra scary. It's not like she's saying, how you doing?
Yeah.
I miss you or anything. She just gives me this blank stare.
Well, sometimes
and then I just wake up.
I sometimes wonder if it's difficult for spirits to actually speak to you. Because I've had an experience with, it was really similar, that I saw a ghost at the end of my bed and she was staring at me too. It was the same thing. Just staring. And it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel sinister or evil. It just, it felt like a good presence, but she was just staring. So I wonder if maybe it's difficult to, I have no idea.
Yeah, because if I ever hear my grandmother speak, that would be the day I move out of this house.
Really? It would scare you? Don't you think that'd be comforting?
Oh, it depends on what she got to say. She wasn't the nicest woman on earth, that's all I'm saying.
Have you maybe disappointed your grandmother?
I don't know. I was a teenager just doing teenage stuff.
Right.
Or whatever. Like one of the things where maybe she proud of me now. I'm like,
hey,
I don't do drugs.
There you go. All right.
Like I work.
Maybe she's just checking
I'm
in.
an optimist.
I'm
an optimist until something proves me wrong.
Right. Okay. Well, good. I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
So
her number one thing was me making up my bed, and I still don't do it. So if she yells at me about my bed, I'm gonna have to run.
Right. Well, hey. Yeah. Do you think there's something about you that you draw these spirits into you, like into your experience?
I think because that's the main stuff I watch. Like whether it's a movie or whether I'm on YouTube looking up random videos. That's probably my favorite thing to get on YouTube and just look up the spooky stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess that's the energy I keep around me. And then when I try to get friends to watch it, they be like, no, we don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to watch this. So they all refuse it. Like, we don't want to watch that devil stuff. I'm like, that's not how the devil works.
The devil will just tempt you.
Yeah, but the devil is not on YouTube recording live.
No, I'm sure the devil has more creative ways to find you than YouTube. Yeah, so you think maybe just because you're open to it, that's why you've been more susceptible, I guess, to these experiences?
Yeah, I would think so, because I didn't, for a long time, I didn't experience none of this stuff. I think when I was a kid, I was just shaky as hell. I was scared of everything. Like clowns, mainly clowns. Just anything. I couldn't watch a scary movie for nothing. I never saw Halloween before when I got grown, I guess my grown man kicked in. And I started saying, it's just a movie, it's not real. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I started viewing everything. So it's like, I can watch the scariest movie people talk about and not flinch at all. But somehow, some way, it'll come back to me, like, whether in a dream or, like I said, every now and then, a real experience where I'm like, wait a minute, I know I'm not dreaming. Like, I know what I'm seeing in front of me, and I know I'm not high. So it's like... Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, though. I don't let it, like, control my life. But I like it. Every time you have a cool experience, yeah.
Wait, what?
I say every time you have a cool, like, I tell you one thing that happened. One of my friends, this happened 2012. Every now and then I have a cool experience, like, I guess this is my last one that I can remember off top. My friend of mine, he passed away in 2012 in a car accident. So shortly after he passed, I had a dream that it was like a weird dream because I don't go to nightclubs, but I know he like going to them. So I had a dream that I was in a club. And the first thing I thought, you ever been in a dream and you kind of knew this was a dream?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you was like, there's no way I would be here now.
Yeah.
I was just walking through the club past people, and then I walked right past him. Like, he was just standing up against the wall, chilling. And I walked past him, and I looked back and saw him, and he looked at me. And this was weird, too. He didn't speak.
Oh,
so I walked back to him. Yeah, he was, like, looking at me, but he had a smile on his face. And I just walked up to him, and I said, are you okay? And then he just smiled. Like, he was giving me, like, a slight head nod with it. Mm-hmm. And then I remember I woke up shortly after, and I had tears in my eyes, and I don't normally cry.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was like confirmation that he was okay.
Oh, good. That's so awesome. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, so every now and then I come across, a good experience.
Yeah, would you say in that dream, did it specifically not feel like a dream?
It's like I knew I was dreaming, but everything was so visible. Like, It was like, it wasn't blurry or nothing. Like, I'm seeing clearly.
Yeah.
And everything. And, like, it felt real, but I knew it wasn't real because, like I said, I don't go to clubs. And I remember being in the dream saying to myself, why am I here? I don't go to clubs.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a good experience. I mean.
Yeah, because I've definitely had that. I've had one time in particular, I had a dream. And it was right after my dad passed away, and it was with him, and it was completely real.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was good. It's good to get a...
What's that?
I said it's good to get a warm feeling when you, like,
It is. It's crazy. It's like maybe, I don't know. I don't know how it all works, That's part of this show. I'm trying to explore it, I want to learn more about it. It's just like you watching your YouTube videos, Like, I want to learn about this stuff, but we just have to explore.
I believe it's something deeper out here. Like, it's a reason why people keep having, visions of ghosts and spirits and whatnot. If everybody's having it, then it got to be some kind of truth behind it. It'd be like if everybody said they saw a UFO, then I would actually believe they're UFOs. But since you only find one person every couple of years to say they saw one, then this kind of makes me skeptical.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, maybe you can relate to this. I'll tell people because people tell me all the time, I don't believe in ghosts or I don't think they're real. And I think if I had never seen a ghost, I would probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like
if I hadn't encountered it, more than once, then I'd probably be like, okay, this is not a fluke. There's something behind it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. And especially since starting this show, I've heard things repeatedly from completely different people from all over the country that don't know each other and have had similar experiences. And I think that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I say when people go to call in is that, you know, I know my manager is the one who like talked to you and like dealt with all the emails and stuff. But I try to communicate like any of my friends, like if my friends want to call in and do an episode with me, I'm like, that's great. But don't take this the wrong way. Don't lie. Because I will ask so many questions that you're going to look foolish. Like, you know, I want to hear the truth. I want to know the truth. I don't want a made up story. I want to know what happened because that's what I'm trying to explore.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some episodes. It was audio, I think, on Google Play, but I could hear. I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing, but I think you and the guy was in, I don't know if y'all was in a graveyard or something. I'd have to go back and look at it, but y'all was walking around and I could hear like the brush and stuff moving. Y'all might have been in a forest or something, but I heard you and the guy exploding. So you actually go on site and I can hear y'all walking through something. I was like, oh man, I wish I could see the video of this.
Oh, I know. Well, we're talking about eventually doing like a video component to the show. But you can look on the Instagram. We have pictures that go along with the episode. So that's like as close as we can get. Maybe it was either Lone Fir Cemetery or the Lafayette Pioneer Cemetery.
I know it had cemetery in the title. That's all I knew. That's what made me click it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. Was I with a girl or with a guy?
It was with a guy.
Okay, I think it was Lone Fir Cemetery.
Okay.
That's a really good one because I researched like the history of the people buried there and then we went and found their graves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really fun. But the thing is that some of the cemeteries, they're locked up and we can't get in there at night. Oh. So I'll have to like walk around the perimeter and that's not as fun.
Yeah.
But I still do it. I still do the episode. I still tell the stories, but you know, it's not the same.
We have it's right outside of Memphis. I'm going to see if I can pull it up and send it to you. It's a small city outside of Memphis called Mason, Tennessee. And I haven't been out there yet, but everybody keeps saying it. Like, it's a cemetery out there with a statue of a woman. I don't think it's a Virgin Mary, but they say it's a statue of a woman. And they say if you go late at night and you approach the statue actually cries. I'm like, huh?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, they say you can see the statue crying. And then they said, a friend of mine said she went on Halloween because that's when people like to go. And she said she saw the statue crying. And then all of her friends took back running to the car. And the car doors were locked. They couldn't get in the car for like 5 minutes. So they just took off running through the rest of They came back to the car and the doors weren't locked. I was like, did somebody play a prank on y'all? And then he was like, I'm for real. My friend had the keys. And he tried to open the door. He was like, they're not working.
Oh, my God.
And then they just said they heard, like, noises. Like, they didn't see anything, but they just heard noises that wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man. But then somebody else said the same thing. I was like, man. They're like, when you ready to go? I said, I don't know about that.
Really? I don't know if I'm ready. I would definitely check it out. If I'm ever out there, I'm definitely going to do an episode there.
Yeah.
I don't think I would run. I think I would just be so fascinated.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on which day you catch me on. If I see you at it, I'm like, and I'm in the cemetery. As long as my car, I make sure my car windows are let down or something so I can jump in there if I had to.
Yeah, but then you don't want like the living to get into your car and steal it. I mean, that's when you start getting worried about the living people. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. It's one of the things where I go, one day I'll get up the nerve to try that out. We have somewhere else in Memphis. It's called Voodoo Village. Also heard stories about this. You can look it up on YouTube. They say it's a part of town where you drive. It's like abandoned, but all the houses are still intact.
Oh my God!
You drive across the railroad tracks, and you'll see an old woman sitting on the porch. And people have been saying this for like over 20 years. It's the same old woman sitting on the porch, rocking back and forth. And if you drive deeper into the city, go across another set of railroad tracks, they say your car will cut off for a couple of minutes. And people will walk out. And like he said, they call it voodoo business for a reason. They think the people in this town are like doing voodoo or whatever. Because they say everybody in this town is like over 70 years old. There are no young people there. So I've heard this verbatim from people that have gone out there. They're like, oh, they won't do anything, but they will just come out of nowhere and start walking towards your car.
Oh.
And you got to back up out of there because there's only one way in and one way out. I said, oh, man. Because you're turning down a side street that's a dead end with like a row of houses on it.
Yeah.
So I've heard about that several times. It's like a dare. People say this every Halloween. That's when everybody wants to be brave. They'll be like, I bet you won't go to Voodoo Village. I'm like, I'll go any day, but I ain't doing it on Halloween. It's going to be crowded.
Yeah, I mean, well, that, and there's also probably like people trying to vandalize stuff on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned to leave certain people alone. I was like, okay, these people are not ghosts. I was like, I'm going to leave live spooky people alone. I'd be more willing to deal with ghosts than actual. I said, so these people are basically like zombies is what you're telling me. They're like, we don't know. They just walk towards the car very slowly and you got to get out of there.
Yeah, that's creepy. So they're just old people that do voodoo?
I guess.
Okay.
Like, I guess you have to. I'm waiting for somebody to go undercover, go covert, and go in there with a hidden camera.
You just need an old person to go with you. Just find the creepiest old person that you know.
Person I know. Like get in, and dress them up. But I think the real
to be so aggressive.
So make them go undercover. No, I'm like, they gotta be undercover. But I think they would find out. I think the real voodoo people would be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's not one of us.
Yeah, they would know. Maybe that would upset them.
Careful. Oh man, yeah. Better them than me.
If anything, it's a horror movie in the making.
Yep. It sounds like a haunted community, but there ain't no ghost in it. Everybody's just alive and spooky. I'm like, no, I don't play with it. Yep. Because that's worse. I'm like, so most of my experiences happen in my dreams. I'm like, when it happens to you, you looking at it, like, you like,
Yeah. Living people scare me more than the dead, for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Living can actually touch you.
Yeah.
The dead can too, but from my experience, I kind of liked it. But
I
was probably never take it.
Well, but then you were worried it was going to rob you, which is ridiculous, because why would a ghost rob you?
I don't know. Just like, why would the ghost want to massage me? Why would the ghost want to massage me? I'm like, they could have picked all the rooms in the motel, but my first night there, maybe they knew I was new. Like, someone new.
Maybe they did. Maybe you were new. Maybe there's something special about you, and they wanted to let you know. Or
my other theory, a horror died in that room and our spirit never left.
Well,
I can definitely believe that theory.
I mean, that could be. That really could be. Especially the area you said it was kind of like that, right?
Yeah, the whole area was, I didn't even know they let this go on in my city. I was like, what in the world?
This is a controversial opinion, but I think you probably should have just gone along with it.
Oh, hold up. This is my second thought. I wasn't 100% sure. This was a woman. Now, no disrespect to other sexualities.
That's a
but
fair point.
But if a ghost is going to touch me, it has to be a woman ghost.
So you couldn't feel the body next to you? You could only feel the hand touching you?
I felt a slight mount. It felt like somebody, when they give you a back massage in bed, they're kind of on you.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
they
heavy.
Just kind of tap you to say, what's up?
If I would have heard a voice, that would have made me more comfortable. If I would have heard a a voice like yours, I'd be like, okay, carry on. But I didn't hear nothing. I just felt hands.
Okay, so
they were soft hands, but
you were uncomfortable because you didn't know who was touching you. I guess that's fair.
Kind of. That's part of it. I mean, I guess that's messed up. That's probably the number 2 thing I was worried about.
What was the number 1 thing?
Why is it going in my pockets and what's next? Like,
well, that could have been a good deal. Yeah, I mean, you could have just ruined a good deal for yourself. Well, and then the other thing though is if it was a male ghost, how funny would it be if your story was that you like went along with it until suddenly you felt a little extra?
Tell you this, if I would have went along with it, I would have never told you. That would have kept that stuff myself.
That would go with you to the grave, so to speak.
Yeah, you take that one with you. You don't think? Because I was basically resisting.
Yes.
Like the first several times. Then after I got good and sleepy, I just said, forget it. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Let the massage continue, and it actually helped me fall asleep faster.
Oh my God!
Then,
so you kind of loved it. Was
Love
it just massaging?
Word.
Was it massaging your back or just your groin?
It was. No, it was like shoulders to back.
Nice.
And then it went down to my lower back, and then, like I said, it got to where my jean pockets were, and I just felt one hand, not both hands. Then it just felt like one hand was fidgeting, and that's when it got weird. Because once I felt that hand on my thigh, and it felt strong, I was like, that's when I would swipe away, but I wouldn't feel anything when I swiped away at it.
Crazy.
And then I would turn over. It's like I would raise up in the bed, and the whole thing would go away. I mean.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for your story. That's amazing. I loved it.
Thank you very much. If something else happens to me, I would definitely let you know, because I'm sure it will before this year's out, especially around Halloween.
Yes.
I can count on it.
Oh, yeah. I hope I get a bunch of emails around Halloween. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your night.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah. He cracked me up. Thank you so much for your call, Will. This has been so much fun for me. Thank you to everyone who wrote in and spoke to me during these minisodes this season. I have loved talking to each and every one of you and listening to your stories, and I know hundreds of other listeners have loved listening to your stories too. If you have a ghost story for me and you'd like to be featured in a minisode, we're accepting stories for season 2 right now. Email us your story at litdarkpodcast@gmail.com. That's litdarkpodcast@gmail.com. Hey, if you don't follow us on Instagram yet, you probably don't know about the awesome new video we just uploaded to our YouTube channel. We were invited to go through the House of Shadows, Oregon's only full-contact terror experience. I went through with Portland comic Amanda Arnold, and we had so much fun. Ironically, I have no problem going to real haunted houses, but going to commercial haunted houses scares the shit out of me. Check out the video. You can find the link in our bio on our Instagram. You can find our Instagram with the handle @LitDarkPodcast. Again, that's @LitDarkPodcast. Check it out. By the way, we are very close to the end of our first season of Laughing in the Dark. We're going to do a wrap-up episode and answer some frequently asked questions about this show. If you have any questions or comments you want us to address, email us and we'd love to answer you. As always, thank you so much for listening.